It marks a major anniversary in the civil rights movement. On May 17, 1954, exactly 70 years ago today, the U.S. Supreme Court issued its ruling in Brown versus Board of Education. The justices found that the policy of separate but equal was not equal and ordered desegregation of public schools. I spoke with Kevin Young, the director of the National Museum of African American History and Culture, about how possible it is to overstate the importance of this decision.
I remember stories being in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where my family parents went to school. Shout out to Southern University, the great HBCU there, and the Human Jukebox, the best jukebox in the land. What I would say is that I was with my mother one time in Baton Rouge, and we were in a restaurant, and she said, "Oh, I remember when we came here, and we weren't allowed, and then one day we were, and we came en masse to show this new status of being able to be in these restaurants, which we paid taxes to be able to attend and schools, and also to be able to go to public spaces." And that kind of freedom that we might take for granted today starts with Brown.
So what do you have on display that sort of commemorates and shows us the things that you can see? You can't touch them, but look out and see from this time of Brown versus Board.
Just one highlighting item, we have the dolls, the set of the dolls that were used in the famous study that help people understand and visualize the ways that beauty was being also affected, that people thought of Black dolls as less than. And that doll test, we have those dolls, which are really, there's some haunting, beautiful pictures you may have seen of a Black boy picking the white doll over the Black one. And, you know, that kind of inborn, long-standing, you know, trauma, let's call it, I think is something that we try to talk about in the museum, that history of what racism did to certain folks, but also the resistance. We have the glasses of Thurgood Marshall, who of course famously argued the case. We have other artifacts that really think about this past, but also look toward the future.
What do you see as the museum's role in preserving this history, and not just preserving it, but also making sure that all Americans can see and learn and really try to understand how important this is, not just for African Americans, but for the entire community that we all share?
Well, we tell the American story through an African American lens. And the response has been just tremendous from the day we opened. But it's been really heartening after, you know, the disruptions and losses of COVID to see people come back into the museum to experience it top to bottom, or as you may know, from bottom to top, which is how we encourage people to experience the history and the culture of this nation. And, you know, we're open to all, and to have, you know, the millions of people we've had over 10 million people since 2016 visit the museum, has been really powerful. And I see people every day recognize themselves and recognize each other in the museum and find those connections and build those bridges. It's all the more important now.
What a day in history it is. Everybody needs to know about this. Today, the museum is hosting a day-long symposium on this decision, Brown v. Board of Education. Surviving members of the Little Rock Nine, they'll be there. President Joe Biden will be there. He says he plans to come. And while today's event is sold out, Dr. Young says that it will be posted on the museum's website for everyone to watch starting next Friday, May 25th. They have a lot of different things. That's one thing, the symposium, but their lectures, of course, and programs for school-aged kids. Really, this is their marquee event for the month of May at this important museum. So it was just a pleasure talking to him. And we know Dr. Lonnie Bunch, who is now over the Smithsonian. So this is the new director, you know, fairly new. So
and you know what's fascinating about that is my parents, separate but equal schools in high school, and your parents, your parents as well, separate but equal. And then now here we are, the benefit of everything that they went through to get to where we are.
Well, I always say it like, you know, I'm saying it a lot, maybe because I just had a birthday, but think about it this way. I'm 58 years old. This is only 70 years old. 12 years before I was born, I would have been going to, you know, a segregated school. So this is recent history. Absolutely. But, you know, we have to know it so we never get in that position again.
Yep, there you go.
That's it.